In this video, I'm going to review the Chanel 22 bag. This bag I have been waiting for months to get, and I finally got it. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what it looks like out of the bag, and whether or not you should get it. Hey guys, my name is Connie Henriquez Kimmel, and I'm the creator and founder of Start Loving Life, the philosophy that teaches you how to be happier, more confident, and in love with life. I'm so excited because I finally got the Chanel 22 bag. So guys, I will tell you, last spring, as I was going through email, I realized that Chanel had released their spring-summer collection for 2022. As I usually go through the emails and I see these beautiful Chanel bags, one thing always rings true, that most Chanel bags are not really functional. So for me, I love bags that are functional. I carry a lot of crap with me. I don't want a bag this big. I don't want a bag that's heavy. I want a bag that I could put a lot of stuff in. So when I was seeing this email and I saw the model on the runway, this picture, like, first of all, she's gorgeous, and she's carrying a Chanel bag that's actually functional. You had me at function. So once I saw that bag, I quickly call up the number. I go online, I call up the number for Chanel, and it's nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found, right? And so I was a little disappointed because I have never had a Chanel pocketbook before. I've always wanted one. And Chanel to me is actually a very special brand just because when I was younger and I am from the beauty industry, I worked in the cosmetic beauty industry for a very long while before creating Start Loving Life. My first job in the beauty industry was working for Chanel as a beauty advisor in Macy's Smith Haven in Lake Grove, New York. And so just think, I was 19 at the time and my first job was working for Chanel. And it's so amazing because at the time I was just so excited. I'm like, wow, I'm working for Chanel at 19. That's pretty crazy. So I've always wanted a Chanel handbag, but as we know, a Chanel handbag is an investment. And like I said, I love functionality. So when I purchase designer handbags, I usually go with like a Louis Vuitton, like, you know, the monogram one, because listen, those things are durable. I can't tell you how many ones I have from like back in the day that still look pretty good. And I don't treat my bags any special any more than I should treat a bag. Like, I don't take care of a bag. I use it. I treat it as a bag should be treated. Like, I use it. So when I saw the Chanel 22 bag, I was like, I gotta have it because it's functional and I will take care of it and I will be mindful for the fact that it is real leather. But so anyway, so that was spring, couldn't find it. I kind of got over it. I'm actually in the middle of writing a book right now, so that's been my priority and should be my priority. But 2 weeks ago, my husband Jeff and I went to Orlando, Florida. He just won a tennis tournament and the Nationals was in Orlando, Florida. So while we're in Orlando, Florida, I think to myself, where is the closest Chanel boutique? Because here in New York, we live on Long Island, so our Chanel boutiques are in New York City. So for us to go there, we typically go there for other reasons, and then while we're there, I'll try to sneak into Chanel. But typically, we don't go there that often, especially since after COVID. So in Florida, I Googled the Chanel boutique in, I think it's the Millennial Mall, whatever. It came up as the nearest mall. So I say to my husband, oh my God, Chanel boutique, I want to go. Now he knows I wanted a Chanel bag, and plus he wanted to get me a Chanel bag for my birthday. But again, I couldn't find the one I wanted, so we kind of just put it on hold. So he's like, yeah, baby, sure thing. So we go to this Millennium Mall, not thinking I was going to find the bag that I really wanted. I was just going for the hell of it. So we go there. You needed an appointment, but I mean, come on, we're looking to buy something. Like, I find that weird. But they let us in, and we have this very nice, beautiful salesperson. And I say to her, I'm looking for the Chanel 22 bag. So she shows me the black one. And I'm like, oh, that's gorgeous. But I love pink. Like, my heart is set on the pink. When I went in the email that was originally announcing the new collection, there were two pinks. There was a corally pink and a cotton candy blush pink. Quite frankly, I don't care what pink I would have gotten. I just wanted a pink one. So when I said to the lady, hey, do you got the pink one? It really was for her to just be like, no, I don't. And I could just get it off my head and just leave and just move on with Jeff's tennis tournament. But she said she had it. Now, I never even saw this thing in person. So when she said she had it, I was like, oh man. So she brings it out. And guys, this bag is beautiful. Guys, is this not beautiful? It's big, it's functional, It's the perfect pink. If you notice, I mean, it's hard to notice, my gaming chair. It's kind of like in the same color family. I would have taken the coral pink one too, but they didn't have it. They had this one and I love it. So guys, so I see the Chanel 22 bag and I'm like, oh my God, I need to have it. Now, my husband was aware I wanted a Chanel 22 bag, but I don't think he realized that I really wanted it. And actually he was good. And again, it was my birthday present. So we did get it. And I have to tell you, I'm so excited to use it. I waited for this video just to kind of introduce it. I really just unpacked it now. I was going to do an unboxing video, but I was like, that's way too much pressure and too much work. But I wanted to just show you how beautiful this is. And that's so pretty. Now guys, if that was not enough, okay? So I see this bag, Chanel 22. I love it. And first of all, when you go to a Chanel store, they don't really have a lot of pink stuff. They just kind of don't. And I'm sure they do, but when I've gone, they really haven't had a lot of pink. And a pink that I like. Because they also have this other pink, which is more of a corally pink, which I don't love. So I see this bag. I'm like, oh my God. I see it in my honeys. I'm like, oh my God, this is the bag I've been wanting. And he's like, all right, well, you know, you've been wanting it and we'll get it. But then I got to tell you what happens next. So I get the bag. And also, just so you know, which I did not know, and this is what the salesperson told us, is that technically you can't buy 2 bags within 30 days, the same person, which I didn't know. And I'll tell you why I'm telling you that for a reason. So I see this bag. I'm like, oh my God, I love it. Now, I know in my head I want it, but I don't tell my husband. I mean, I tell my husband I want it, but then I'll tell you what happens next. Then I see this other pink bag. Another one, okay? So I see this other pink bag and I say, oh my God, how am I gonna make this decision? Now, I'm being like silly now because I just never see really cool pink bags in the Chanel boutique. So now that I'm in one and I see 2 cool bags that I love, I feel like I'll never find it again, which is the silliest thing ever, but I'm just expressing how I felt in the moment. So I'm gonna show you my next bag, okay? Because I couldn't decide. I love them both and whatever. And that's how I knew that you really can't buy 2 Chanel bags, one person, within 30 days. So the lady said, well, you could buy the pocketbook and you could buy a wallet or a wallet on the chain, and then you could buy that under one person, but not 2 bags. And I was like, oh, well, I don't need a wallet. I have a nice one I like. But so what we did was I bought one and my husband bought one, which was perfectly fine. Okay, so anyway, so look at this, guys. Is this not adorable? It's like a little hobo. Is it a hobo? Yeah. So what I loved about this, and this is why I couldn't make up my mind between the 2. First of all, the Chanel 22 was a done deal. I loved it. I wanted it. But what I loved about this bag is, once again, it's functional. Guys, hold on. It's functional. You could put a phone, a lip gloss, lipstick with a freaking Ziploc bag, because that shit ain't leaking in here. But you know, it's functional. So when I go to an event and I don't want to carry my big bag, I have this adorable Chanel little hobo. So guys, as you can see, I could not decide between both. So I got both. And again, this is coming from a girl who waited her whole life to buy a Chanel pocketbook. So the reason why I'm saying this is that I'm very excited. If you're wondering, like, what does a Chanel pocketbook look like in person, especially about the Chanel 22. I mean, I'm sure you've seen pocketbooks like this before. But the Chanel 22, I have to say, is gorgeous. I'll show you again. I am kind of researching now how to like kind of take care of it, because it seems like it's a big ordeal. But I'm going to say that we're going to make it super easy. Oh, and also too, guys, with this thing, it comes with the Chanel. Hold on. It comes with a Chanel wallet. Not really a wallet, a little pouch. But isn't that cute? And it's like connected here. And you could take it off. And then guys, I'll try to add more video too via my phone. This unboxing thing is really not my forte. But I just wanted to share how beautiful my Chanel 22 bag. If you're on the fence, I definitely would get it. And again, it is an investment. So if you can't get it, I totally get that too, because I've been there for years. And again, it's an investment. It's a bag that you have to take care of. You can't fling it around like your Louis Vuitton bags, or at least how I used to do. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I buy random stuff. Again, I teach people how to start living life. But don't forget, I teach people how to start living life, which starts up here. So you got to be happy first. Then when you're happy, then you can buy fun stuff, because you don't need the fun stuff to make you happy. Does it make you happier? Sure. But you and I both know The happiness that comes from buying nice stuff lasts literally 2 minutes. The happiness up here that lasts forever, that's the happiness that you're seeking, and that's the happiness I teach. But I like to buy random stuff just to make myself happier, at which point I post about it. Just if you're like me, trying to Google about the Chanel 22 bag, which seems like there's not much stuff out there, just want to tell you it's a beautiful bag, definitely recommend it. And if you can't find it, what you want to do is you got to go into a boutique, connect and have a relationship with a salesperson. If they're really cool, they'll give you a cell phone number, their cell phone number, and they usually just say text. And you can just text them or tell them to text you when they get it in. I will say this, I've called several stores that were not Chanel boutiques, not major department stores, but like more like boutique-y ones that are not major. And I called up and they really weren't friendly. They really weren't nice. And I'd say, hey, you have any pink Chanel bags? And I'd always get the response, well, no. And then I'd say, great, can you call me when you get any in? And they'd say, well, you know what? We don't really do that. So you'll just have to keep calling back. Like, what kind of service is that? Like, I've never heard of that before, but I guess people do that. I guess Chanel's that so popular that they don't have to work for their sale. Interesting. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please press the like button and subscribe. Like I said, I give life tips, love tips, and some product tips based on what I buy.